Have you ever noticed how silence can feel louder than someone actually shouting at you? Like someone leaves you on scene. No reply, no emoji, no haha, just silence. And suddenly your brain goes into full detective mode. Did I say something wrong? Are they busy? Are they mad? Did I accidentally send that message to the wrong group? Funny thing is, nothing was said, yet it feels like everything was said. That's the strange power of silence. Silence isn't empty. It's loud. It's heavy. And sometimes, it screams more than words ever could. Think about this. If someone says, "I'm angry with you," okay, that hurts, but at least it's clear. But if someone suddenly stops talking to you, no explanation, no closure, that silence keeps talking in your head again and again. It's like a song stuck on loop, but the lyrics are just your overthinking. We expect words to communicate, but silence creates interpretation, and interpretation is dangerous because your mind usually assumes the worst. Let's take a simple real-life example. You crack a joke in a group. Everyone laughs, except one person. They're silent. No reaction. Now logically, maybe they didn't hear it. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're thinking about food. But emotionally, your brain says, "Oh no, that joke was bad. They hate me now. I should never speak again." One silent face can overpower 10 loud laughs. That's why silence feels louder. It gives your imagination a microphone. Words have limits. They explain. They define. They end a thought. Silence doesn't end anything. It leaves the door open, and your mind walks in and rearranges the furniture. Silence also carries expectation. When someone you love goes quiet, it doesn't feel peaceful. It feels alarming. Because silence from strangers is normal. Silence from people who matter feels personal. When your best friend suddenly replies with instead of paragraphs. When a parent stops talking after an argument. When someone says, "We'll talk later," and later never comes. That pause is louder than any argument. And here's the funny part. Silence isn't always intentional. Sometimes the other person is just busy. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes their phone is at 1% and they're fighting for their life to save battery. But your brain doesn't care about facts. It cares about feelings. Silence triggers uncertainty, and humans hate uncertainty. Our brains are wired to fill gaps. If there's no information, it creates its own story. And let's be honest, our brain is not a positive storyteller. It's more like, worst case scenario? Yes, let's go with that. Silence can also be powerful in a different way. Ever notice how one quiet moment in a movie can make your heart race faster than explosions? No music, no dialogue, just stillness. Because silence demands attention. When someone stops talking mid-sentence. When a room goes quiet after a shocking statement. When there's a pause before an answer. Your brain leans in. Silence says, something matters here. That's why silence can feel heavy, emotional, awkward, comforting, or terrifying. Sometimes all at once. But here's something important. Silence doesn't always mean rejection. It doesn't always mean anger. And it definitely doesn't always mean you did something wrong. Sometimes silence just means someone doesn't know what to say yet. And honestly, that's okay. Not every silence needs to be filled. Not every pause is a threat. And not every quiet moment is about you. The problem starts when we let silence decide our worth. When we assume, they didn't reply, so I don't matter. They went quiet, so I'm not enough. That's giving silence too much power. So next time silence feels unbearably loud, pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this silence actually saying something? Or am I the one speaking over it with my thoughts? Because sometimes silence is just silence. And sometimes learning to sit with it without overthinking is the loudest confidence you can have. If you made it till here, you already understand something most people don't. Silence doesn't always need answers. Sometimes it just needs awareness. And maybe, just maybe, the loudest voice you hear in silence is your own mind.